First part we're going to focus in on is getting the hammer and the disconnector back in. So the disconnector has to go vertically. It's got a little nub right here that faces out. So you're just going to gently insert it. You're also going to need the pin. There's the mainspring pin. This is it here. You can verify by just sticking it through there, making sure that it's the right size. So this little shoulder here in the center needs to be oriented this way. And you're going to put it in basically as I'm looking at it, you're going to be coming from the right to the left. Okay, there it goes. So now we're lined up, and you can tell because this will rotate down. Shoulder is outboard. We're coming in from the right side of the frame. Okay, the pin is in. Once that disconnector drops down, it's locked in place. And that pin's not going to come out of there anymore. It's actually a pretty slick design, if you really think about it. But you have to line it up so that shoulder can properly engage. Now, if you decide for whatever reason to take that pin back out, well, stand the hammer up, stand the disconnector up, and that pin will come right out. So the next step, and I'm not sure that maybe this is the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of feeling this out right now, but definitely keep your trigger bar spring out of the way. That's one of the last things that you're going to want to do. This is my first time doing it, so you guys are getting to watch me do it, and hopefully that gives you guys a little confidence. So this is how it plugs in, just like this. Got a little edge there, keeping the trigger bar in. Okay. And then at the rear, just going to take our little flat tip screwdriver, pop it up, and get the trigger bar to go under that. And then it all locks in. There we go. That's locked in. Trigger bar is done. Go ahead and line this pin back up. It's important to note there's a hole right there, and that hole is where the trigger return spring leg goes into. The short leg goes here, and the long leg faces the front. There we go. Everything's lined up, and now gently insert it. This is the part where you really need that zen. You need to be calm. The trigger pin is in. It is captured by the disconnector here at the rear. The disconnector just kind of goes up and over it. So the trigger bar sits behind that disconnector. You just want to verify your work. Okay, we're good. And remember, on the disconnector, there's a shoulder that faces outboard. Okay? So I saw in the Mcarbo video that he installs the hammer spring next. I don't know that I want to do that right now, but I kind of, after looking at all of this, I kind of see that there's a little bit of wisdom in it, because it's going to put a little bit of tension and keep that hammer from flopping around. So you're just going to insert your new spring, right? Oh yeah, that's a good thing. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Me personally, I like to use the 3/32, pop it in. Like I said, this is where you got to have that zen going. We've got it all lined back up again. So now we have it captured perfectly. It's in place. We're using the punch now as a guide or a slave, however you want to look at it. This is all lined up. Trigger pin is still good. Hammer pin is still good. As long as those two things are good, the disconnector is down up over the trigger bar. We are golden, baby. Turns out the trigger pin is the same diameter, and this is the lightened trigger return spring. So this leg is going to go down in the little hole, and then this longer leg is going to go up over the top. You guys can see the trigger return spring is in there now, and more importantly, the short leg is in the hole and the long leg is in the little cutout for it right there. So, moving on to the next step. You want to verify that you have good trigger return, and I can't even describe how much better this feels. So you're going to go ahead and put your lightened sear spring in there. And in case you're wondering, this bench block is designed to hold your pistol like so. We're going to be putting in the ejector, the disconnector, the sear, and the return spring. Okay, so make sure those are all clean and ready to go. There's a big end and a small end. Hope you can see this, but it's going to go in like this. We're going to have to get a couple of parts in place first, most notably the sear and the disconnector, and then once we're all lined up, we're just going to pop that pin in and it'll lock in and it'll stay in place. Then we just pop the ejector down, up, and in, and then that whole pin and mechanism will be retained and locked in. We're going to go ahead and line up the sear, and if you take a look, you're going to go corner to corner. That's how that fits in, and you're just going to get this through both of the ears, and you're going to leave a little bit of space, all right? So now you've got to get your disconnector in. Remember, this is a two-piece assembly, and the bearing goes outboard. So the bearing is going to go to the right side of the pistol as you're looking at it. Gently line it up. There we go. Remember, you've got your lightened sear spring in there as well. There it is. Okay, so now we've got the ejector here. Now there's a curve to it that bends up and over, and so it's going to go in this orientation, but you got to rock it down, under. And if you pay attention to this little groove right there, that is how it goes in. Right, there we go. So you're going to bring it in, up, and lock it in place. And then you're just going to lock it in place. And remember to make sure that that spring is compressed. Take that flat tip and just shove it back to make sure that it's fully locked in. Okay? It can appear as though it is actually locked in, and it's not. See that? There we go. You heard the click, you heard it lock in, and we can move on to the headache of lining up this goddamn decocking mechanism. Okay, so we're going to go over a couple little things so that this part goes smoothly. This is your decocker spring, right? So it's going to come this orientation, and that leg is going to be captured under that bar. Okay? Hope you can see that. It will make sense when you actually have the pistol in front of you. This long, crazy looking leg right here. Right? This little guy. You're going to see a little roll pin down in the frame. So, you're going to position it with the short leg forward. This is the hardest part just because of the lighting. Yes, sir. And I lost it. Had it, I lost it. Story of my life. Spring in the hole, and I've got the decocking lever run through it. And this is the part that requires a little bit of love, attention, and patience, because now you've just got to get it to go through the hole. Okay, so now we've got it to go through the hole. So it's a square fit. There we go. So now we've just got it lightly captured there, which is just kind of helping me to balance the force, because this is two different springs acting on it right now. And this, to me, is, so it's a little bit hard to explain. But you have to get the decocker lever pointed up. I've pulled the decocker lever back just a little bit, and you're just going to kind of gently line it up. And we're going to go ahead and put the spring tension on to the decocker. Once you get it above the trigger bar, that trigger spring actually kind of helps keep it into place. and get that leg captured. So now the leg is captured. Verify that it is still in the pocket. Take your handy dandy phone with your flashlight, and I hope you can see that. But you're just going to verify that everything is where it's supposed to be. Now we've got the decocker spring captured. So we'll engage. Okay. Fuck. I just lost my tension on the... Basically what you're going to do is you're going to get both of the wings pointed up, and you're just trying to work this one to where that square will line up and engage the shaft. And you've also got to get it through the frame like so. So we're almost there. We're almost where we need to be. It's kind of a pain in the butt. We're just gonna... And I've lost the tension on the decocker spring. Amazing. All right. This can be the most frustrating part. This is the most frustrating part, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not unachievable, right? Gently massage this little motherfucker. Ah, you little bitch. Press down on the ejector. We're gonna set this down. I'm gonna take a little break. All right, so here I am about an hour and a half later, and I have finally got it all back together. And I'm gonna try to walk you through it. This is not the easiest thing in the world. It is, but it isn't, okay? So what I was doing wrong, cock the fucking hammer. Seriously, cock the fucking hammer. So then you flip both of the wings up, you get them both pointed up at the top, and then you just kind of pop it together, hit the ejector, and it'll snap in right into the square. Then you just rotate it down, and there's a little nub right here. See that? Works like a fucking charm. To get this side in, you have to press down on the trigger bar while it's pointed up, and then there's a little wing on the inside of this that will just pop in. So you have to get the spring in place. You have to have this pointed up, get your spring in place, keep pressure on the flat here in the vertical position, and then with the hammer cocked, you've got it all lined up. You just hit the ejector, and then it just popped in. Go ahead and do a function check, okay? Decock works. Freaking beautiful. It's beautimous. All right, you guys kind of get an idea. There we go. Turn it at the angle, you can really see it blinging there. Try it on single action. Woo, that is sweet. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh Lord, yes. Yeah. Yeah. This has netted over a 50% reduction. Line it up, send it home. God, that is just... There's still a tiny bit of creep. And I mean tiny. Like the DA pull. Look. Watch the hammer. There's no stutters whatsoever on this. See that? Just smooth. Beautiful. Ooh. Okay. So this is how you normally carry it. You're always going to have a little bit of slop in there. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. That's just the design of the system. But watch this. Dude, that is... All right, so I'm a happy dude, right? This is awesome. All that polishing, all that work, all that headache, worth it. Absolutely. I'm going to put in one of my tradition snap caps just because you can hear it. You can hear the spring when it hits. And I want that because no problems whatsoever. Firing pin is working. That is just amazing. That is sex. That is just, that's more than a 50% reduction. Now, I don't have a trigger pull gauge with me handy right now, but I will easily say that that is about 6 to 7 pounds. Beautiful. Now let's see if the reset is any better. Mostly because, all right, we're gonna show it. Very positive click. There it is. So if I can do it at home, you can do it at home. I'm gonna put links down to everything that I've used in the video. It's the best way to support the channel. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like, hit subscribe, you know, help me, boost me up so I can make more videos like this for you. So I'm Byron. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna see you in the next one.